An Abundance of Katherine follows a boy named Colin, and before he graduated, he won $10,000, was labeled a child prodigy, and had 19 different girlfriends. And this story is about him going through this depression because I guess all of that wasn't good enough for him. In the very best possible way. And that's it. Yeah. John Green, you motherfucker, you did it again. I love John Green books. For those who don't know, John Green is an active YouTuber, writer, and more, but I don't care about that because YouTubing and writing are my ideal careers, so yeah, that's what I care about. If you've heard of Paper Towns, Fault in Our Stars, he wrote those. Of his books, I've read Fault in Our Stars and Looking for Alaska, which I did a review for. You can check it out, maybe point out every time I called the book by its incorrect name, whatever. So then I went into this book, which I heard was John Green's worst book. And if this is his worst book, then damn, I have a lot to look forward to because I love this book. The story follows a kid named Colin, like I said earlier, and he's depressed on 3 sides. 1, over the course of his life, he was dumped 19 times, and every single one of his girlfriends just happened to be named Catherine. Also, when he was a child, it was determined he was a child prodigy, and apparently child prodigies have they have a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of pressure on them to become geniuses, and it turns out Colin's not a genius. Finally, like every single person on the planet, Colin really wants to matter and be important and may or may not become famous and rich, but he wants to matter, and it's a struggle. Then Colin's best friend named Hassan comes into the story, and quick note, Hassan is amazing, and he's one of the best side characters I've ever read. And Hassan, he's this really big chubby dude, and he's super funny, and he has this Arabic background, although he's not very good at being religious. And he's not very good at being active either. He's pretty anti-activism. He's good at sitting around doing nothing, and bottling up his pain and using humor to deflect that. And he's good at watching Judge Judy all day. So Hassan finds Colin just laying on the floor being all depressed, and he's like, you know what? You look like shit. Want to go on a road trip? But don't get me wrong, this is in no way at all a road trip story. Let's just say they find a destination. I'm not going to say anything else past that because I don't want to go into that. Let's just say he finds his destination. They spend a lot of time there. Unsurprisingly, this book is written amazingly, and I love every character. Let's look at Colin, for example. Colin, he's just kind of this geeky kid who doesn't fit in. He's always trying to be smarter than everyone, and that pisses everyone off. So, and that's been done before a lot. But John Green's characters, they're so three-dimensional, and he's so much more than your average protagonist. Colin is a nerd, but he has spent his entire life working his ass off and studying because he thinks that's the way that he'll grow to success. But that's not what happens. His dreams are far away, and in the real world, he's just kind of boring and uninteresting and kind of self-centered. And he wants to matter, and I think that's something everyone can relate to. And, he wants to do anything to achieve this, which is admirable, but at the same time, you kind of just want to be like, hey, stop being you, which is the most harmful thing you can say, but it's there's a lesson to be learned with Colin. I already touched on Hassan. All you have to know about him is he's amazing, so the only other character I'll shout out is Lindsay, who is a girl going through sort of an identity crisis. And again, she's another relatable character, and she has a lot of depth. And John Green, he writes female characters so well. I love any female character he writes. And as a person who's written female characters, I know, writing for the opposite gender, that's not super easy, and I just have to applaud him for that. And last thing I want to say is this book, it has a great story. And no, my heartstrings weren't pulled out of me and crumpled within John Green's hands. No one died tragically. And, you know, as emotional as I got reading those other books, sometimes, you know, less is more, and I think nobody dying was refreshing. And, you know, it didn't stop anything. The story didn't need anyone to die, and, you know, there was no reason for it, and I'm glad that that's the way it went. This book ultimately is so great, and I just want to get lost in it all over again. Maybe 18 more times, one for each Catherine. With that said, guys, I'm gonna give An Abundance of Katherines a strong 8 out of 10, and the soul badge of approval. With that being said, guys, please subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Check out today's featured channel. As always, Eureka! And with that, I leave you.
Hey guys, this video is going to be a book review of The Rhythmatist by Brandon Sanderson, the author of the Mistborn series, and by and large, the rest of the Cosmere as well. Reviews for the Mistborn books that I've reviewed are here. Brandon Sanderson has, of late, been one of my favourite authors, and to be honest...
Think when I sit, I just wait till I drift off for that to run. Let the day arrange me like your room formation, shuffling round with abandon, looking for you. And I haven't found me inside this whirlwind of repeating patterns, blurring glyphs on